welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your August 2016 reading. As you know, I no longer shuffle the cards on screen, just saves time. If you'd like a private reading with me, guys, just go to www.carolsuniverse.co.uk. So for the month of August, very interesting, your general energy is heartbreak, the Three of Swords. And I feel that you guys have to make a head or a heart decision over a particular person. I've got a feeling it might be a fire sign individual, possibly Leo, but can be Sagittarius and Aries as well, or Aries as well. But, you know, the Three of Swords is one of those cards that says, you know, I've seen this card show up for me, and it's a real torture card, because it means, especially in my own life when I've experienced this card, Leo, that I'm trying to get through something. I'm trying to, when I look at the swords stuck in the heart, it's the reality of a situation, because swords always pretty much represent ideas, words, communication, struggle. So sometimes this card can show up when you're having difficult communication with someone, like arguments, and it's really affecting you emotionally. And it can show up when something that someone has done, they've literally, it's like they've stuck a knife in your heart, that type of thing. So it can be where somebody has literally taken an action and that's affected you to your core. It can be a love triangle as well, involving obviously three people. That's affecting you emotionally. The key for me with the Three of Swords is something that affects us on such a deep emotional level that sometimes we just don't know whether we're ever going to get over it. But sometimes this card for me is also the realisation card that, you know, we have a choice that we can make. We can either allow the swords to stay stuck in the heart, or we can pull them out one by one. Now, that might be a fatal act, yes, but really in a metaphorical sense, it means that you release the tension and you take out the offending instrument so that your heart can heal over again. So it's all about healing as well. And I feel in one way, Aquarius, the reading is about healing in the month of August. But I also feel in another way, it's that, you know, you're still going to be feeling the effects of something that somebody's done to you. Your general energy is showing up as the Eight of Cups, and it faces the Star. Now, I could read that in many ways. The Star is usually you, because Aquarius represents the Star. Now, often I feel when an astrological sign shows up as a major in a reading, the person takes on the traits of the star. So, what does the star mean? It means clarity. It means positivity. It means a sense of freedom. It means belief, self-belief. And I feel that this is you guys. This is my first explanation, that there is a sense of leaving something behind from the past, something that hasn't been serving you with that Eight of Cups, in order to walk towards your own self, or go on your own journey of self-discovery. I feel that if the Eight of Cups is the journey, then the Star is self-discovery. And sometimes when we go on a journey of self-discovery, it means stripping everything away. Do you see what I mean? It means stripping away the illusion. Okay, it means to abandon all of the things that we thought were true, which are not true, which is where the clarity comes in with the Star. It could also mean the abandonment of hope, if I were to put keywords into this. So if you're abandoning something in the Eight of Cups, and the Star means hope, it could be the abandonment of hope. So some of you guys, you will have just given up on a relationship, and this is where your Three of Swords comes in as the advice. To say, yes, August might be a tough month emotionally and mentally, but the abandonment of hope in something gives you the freedom to move on. It could also be that maybe for some of you guys, an ex-lover is walking towards a new star. It could be an Aquarius like yourself. It could be somebody else. The Star can mean so many things. It can mean that you stand out. It can mean that you are in the forefront of everybody's view. It can mean that you are the star, like a pop star or a film star, or, you know, the star means I shine. I shine. I stand out. People regard me with such high affection. People look at me like I'm a star. They feel that I really do stand out from the rest. So it could be for some of you guys, yes, somebody has walked towards somebody else with the star card. Okay, it could be for some people that people, I get the impression when I look at these two cards together that with the Eight of Cups there is a sense of depression with this card for some of you. Okay, and the star card can mean sadness as well. It can mean that you're going on a journey far, far away, so you're probably moving far away from a situation, hence the Three of Swords can mean to be separate or a separation. Some of you guys might be enduring during the month of August, because it can mean, both cards can mean journey. The Star can mean to be far away, and the Eight of Cups can mean walking towards. So you might be walking away for taking a pause or a break in something and walking towards somewhere that's quite far. So going maybe to another part of the country, to a different country, foreign location, but somewhere that is far removed from where you've been or where you live. And hence the Three of Swords can mean my heart aches because I'm from the one that I love. But, you know, this reading can be read in so many ways. You know, the first way that I'm going to explain this reading is for any of you guys that affiliate with this reading through Heartbreak. We've got the Sun that shows up, and we've also got the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords isn't always a card about deception. It's more about deceptive tactics that we use to get ourselves ahead in life. It can mean to move home, for example. It can mean to steal. It can mean to sneak, be a sneak, to be watching someone or spying on someone from afar, hoping that you get away with it. But this combination can also mean, the Sun can mean male energy, Leo. We also know that the Strength card in the Tarot is also considered to be of Leo energy as well. So the Sun can represent a Leo energy, a very strong male energy. But this, when you get the Sun card, it means someone who is overly confident in their behaviour. So they really feel a sense of that they are above everybody else. There is a sense of being a bit of a show-off with this card, a sense of knowing that you are in demand, a sense of knowing that you are, you know, in the forefront of everyone's eyes, a sense of knowing that you are highly requested as an individual. Really, this is the card of, and it definitely can relate to male or female, but a lot of time I've seen this card to show up for a guy who thinks he's all that and that he can get away with stuff. And we see that with the Seven of Swords, it could be that this man is getting away with stuff. He's getting away with maybe having an affair, maybe, you know, seeing other girls, that type of thing. If you resonate with this, all right? And for some of you guys, with the general energy, it might be that you have to walk towards, or you're walking towards, you're leaving behind this situation with the Eight of Cups, because you're going on your own journey of self-discovery, okay? You can't take any more of this situation, because we've got the Three of Swords. So though it's heartbreaking, it might be a head or a heart decision that you need to make in the month of August. We also have the Ace of Wands. Again, strong fire energy. This can be a male. When you get the Ace of Wands, it can suggest a very strong male energy, very strong male, masculine, sexual energy. But he seems to have been found out, because we've got a Knight of Swords facing that Ace of Wands. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of somebody who wants to cut someone's penis off. I'm sorry. It does. It reminds me of that. I get the impression in August, or even going on before that, you may have found out, for some of you guys, about a liar or somebody who's lied to you in terms of a relationship, and you're angry about it, because the Knight of Swords means to feel restless. It's also a very angry card. When you see this Knight of Swords facing another card, it either means I want answers from you, because this is a direct card. When you get knights, they usually represent the actions that somebody takes. So they are the instigators of a situation, the instigator of change. This is what knights represent. They rarely represent people, but they can. They just represent energies. So the Knight of Swords is someone who is very, very impulsive, but he'll have thought about it first. This is the difference. A lot of people can read this card and say, well, Knight of Swords is very sudden, very impulsive action, but he's called the Knight of Swords for a reason. There are two cards, two knights within the tarot that rush very, very quickly, and they're the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands rushes into a situation because he feels impassioned enough to do it. The Knight of Swords rushes into an action because he's thought about it, okay? He has literally thought about what he's going to do, and once he's got it fixed, that's when he goes for it. So this can be somebody who has something very direct to say to you. This can represent direct communication. It can represent a direct fight. It can represent a direct thought. So having a thought and then moving on with it. You've thought about it, now I'm going to move with it. So it's not so much the passion that we speak about. It's more about it is passion, because you have to feel in passion to do something so directly. But it's more, this feels right in my head to do this. So I feel that there is some form of direct confrontation around this individual. And I'm pretty sure it's a very strong masculine energy because it's the Ace of Wands. And this can represent a penis, a phallic symbol. So men are the only people that have penises, obviously. So it's almost like, for some of you guys, you might have found out about somebody philandering or lying, and your first thing, because we know that Aquarians can be very forthright individuals, and even though the Knight of Swords would represent a Gemini energy, usually as an astrological sign, Knight of Swords would be a Gemini. Because it's a general reading, this can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and this is you guys, and you're very, very direct. Okay, I was reading something on my Facebook the other day, and looking at the astrological signs and what we would all say in an argument. And it's true. I think Aquarius said something like, fuck you. I think that was the line that Aquarians would use. And Scorpio, I'm Scorpio, said, you'll regret that. And that's me all over. If somebody pisses me off, I mean, really, it takes a long time for me to do anything, but if somebody really pisses me off, it's like, yeah, you're going to get it. That type of thing, do you see what I mean? So they're very forthright. Aquarians can be, they don't mince their words a lot of the time. And the Knight of Swords picks up on this energy. It's almost like you want to do something to this person. But I feel that this person doesn't go away. You have a choice to make in the month of August 2016, because we've got a Three of Wands. Now, because we're focusing a lot on the very strong fire energy within this reading that I can see within the Sun and the Ace of Wands, and the sword energy, even though you could represent the sword energy, I feel that as a result of the Sun, this is an action that somebody takes. So I feel that the Sun represents, could be a fire sign, doesn't have to be though. This is somebody who's quite accomplished with the Sun card, and they're quite certain that they can get away with anything. So they try it on with that Seven of Swords, but they only partially get away. Because when you get the Seven of Swords, it means to partially succeed. Because he doesn't succeed in taking all 7 swords. He only succeeds in taking 5. He can't carry all 7. Too heavy. They look light to me though, but it's too heavy. But he's quite smug that he's managed to partially kind of get away with something here. But this person looks like they've been copped out. Because I've got this Knight of Swords and it's facing directly that Ace of Wands. Okay? This person probably thinks, hey, done it. And you're like, fuck you, no you ain't. No you ain't. No you ain't. I'm going to cut your balls off. That type of thing. This person looks like they might be quite remorseful, because we've got the Three of Wands here, and when you get the Three of Wands, it means I'm longing, or I'm waiting for an answer. So it could be that within the month of August that this has already happened, and within the month of August there might be somebody who's waiting for an answer from you because they're sorry and they're apologetic about what they've done, but you might just be in two minds. Now, if I'm looking at where the Two of Swords is facing Aquarius, I'm looking at this guy, this person on the Two of Swords, and I always look at where the Two of Swords points to. Where do the Two Swords face? Well, they face the Three of Wands. One sword faces Three of Wands, and one sword faces Chariot. Now, the Chariot can be seen as a card of, I'm conflicted. But also it says, no, I need to get myself together and just push ahead. So it could either be that you say, I'm in two minds. One sword points to the Three of Wands. Okay. Well, one part of me says, maybe I should give this person who's waiting on an answer from me a second chance. And the other sword points towards the Chariot. Or do I just move on? And I feel that you move on, because the Chariot says, I move on, and what I move on to gives me far more happiness and gratification. Now, it could also mean the other way around. This could be you guys on the Three of Wands. And that Two of Swords could say, do I look in another direction, cast my net wider, look for somebody better to come into my life? Or do I carry on seeing this lying, philandering individual who doesn't really give a shit? So it could be either fire sign or a water sign individual that you might be dealing with, okay? It could be a Cancerian. Chariot usually represents the zodiac sign of Cancer. So it could be that you're thinking to yourself, okay, do I look in another direction? One sword is facing to the Three of Wands. Or do I continue to see this Chariot guy? Somebody who seems to have different people under the thumb and who doesn't really have an emotional bone in his body, because the Chariot guy, a lot of the time, to be honest with you, doesn't. He doesn't. He's all about the fast fling. That's what the Chariot guy is. He likes to get around, and I'm looking how the Chariot is lined up underneath that Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands is usually, as I've said, representative of, if we're not looking at new inspirational ideas, if we're not looking at new creative ideas, new creative beginnings, exciting changes, moves, then we're looking at a penis, a very erect one, somebody who gets sexually excited and wants to follow through with that, with the Chariot. It could be that he wishes to act on his passions, which then gives him the instant gratification with that Nine of Cups. All those cards I've seen to represent an uncommitted individual. And he looks to get away with this. Seven of Swords. Because he thinks he's all that with the Sun card. But you may want to block him out with the Two of Swords because you've decided to look in another direction with the Three of Wands. Therefore, your advice is you're going to have to make a head or a heart decision on what you want to do in the month of August. Because the general energy is you need to walk away from things that no longer serve you to things that will with the Star. Walking towards hope, walking the positive route, walking the positive path. The other way that I could see this reading is that for some of you guys, you might be travelling, you might be moving somewhere, because we've got the Sun. And when you get the Sun card, it's very positive energy. It suggests that you're on the right track. It suggests that things are really looking up. And that's because you're relying on yourself. You found a very winning combination. You found a strategy that helps you to move in the direction that you want to go with the Seven of Swords. And it's taken some mental agility to do that. There might be sudden with that Knight of Swords. Sudden happenings or sudden surprises even. The Ace of Wands often reminds me of the surprise that comes in just by the way it flickers upwards. So it might be something that suddenly you run into which is new and exciting. You might be geared up to take a new path. However, you might be conflicted on this. So therefore, though you might want to travel or do something a little bit different, you might just wait with that Three of Wands. You're testing the waters. However, you do move forward because we've got the Chariot. And it leads to some very, very positive conditions with the Nine of Cups. The Two of Swords is where your Three of Swords energy will come in, I feel, with the advice card. Again, it's head and heart decisions. Okay? I feel that you are being pushed, whichever way that you want to look at this, whether this is love, whether this is career, whether it's family, whatever it is, whether it's friendships, there is definitely for me a sense of indecision in the month of August. Okay, and that's mainly because you have a head or a heart decision to make with that Three of Swords. And it can also be that you've experienced some heartbreak that you're finding difficult to let go. Whatever the case is for you, Aquarius, just know that if you walk away from things that no longer deserve a place within your life, you'll be walking towards a new spiritual, happier and positive experience. And because the Star represents you, this is you standing in your power. So whatever it is you're walking towards, it's only going to help you to grow, to develop, to feel better about your life, to feel better about yourself, and you're definitely, I feel, With that Eight of Cups and the star energy, you'll be on the right path. Let's have a look at your angel card. Universe, Spirit, Angel, show me what is the message that you have for Aquarians in the month of August 2016. Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. What is the advice that you have for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs? Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. What is the advice that you have for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs? Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs for the month of August 2016. Show me. No need to worry. There we go. No need to worry, it says. Let's have a look what this says from the book. Your worries and concerns regarding your question are unnecessary. God and your angels have the situation well in hand and everything is going to turn out perfectly. Obsessing over this subject isn't helpful. The energy of fear and worry only slows the eventual manifesting of your desires. Visualize loving and happy outcomes and keep your thoughts positive. Very soon you will wonder why you were worrying about this at all. Incredible. No need to worry. You are on the right path. You're on the path to manifesting your desires with the star card, okay? Maybe this is simply worry around you in the month of August 2016, because the Three of Swords does have lots of negative connotations. Head and heart decisions, heartbreak, arguments. But whatever this is, the general energy around you will be one of positivity. Wherever it is you're going, whatever it is that you're heading to, has some very positive connotations. So though the advice says, yes, there will be a head or a heart decision that you're going to need to make in the month of August, just know with these cards that if you make the right decision, you cannot fail but find yourself on the right path. That is your reading, Aquarius, for the month of August 2016. I would like to say thank you very, very much for using Carol's Universe for your personal reading for August, and I will see you on your live spread reading. It's being recorded at the moment and should be sitting right next door. You should be able to click on it here, okay, or here. You should be able to click on it and go straight to that after this reading. Okay, that's your reading, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.